Good morning guys, how are you doing? So it's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm here at Sandford Springs. I've got work in the shop at 9 o'clock for the rest of the day, so I thought I'll get up. The weather is lovely, get a bit of practice, show you guys a bit of an update of how the swing and the golf's going. Okay, so today's vlog is all about mental toughness, how to cope with the pressure, and that could be for anyone. For me at the moment it's for playing in professional tournaments, no matter what the level. For you it might be your first ever weekend medal. It could be club champs is coming up, something that takes you out of your comfort zone, and all of a sudden you're playing a different kind of game of golf that you're used to when you're just practicing normally. So I've got a few exercises that I'm using at the moment that I find that really have helped to this point. Obviously I've got a lot of work to do and it definitely can get better, but that's what I'm going to talk about today. Guys, let me know if you've had this kind of issue in the past, or you've got it now, or you fixed it somehow. Let me know what you guys have done to try and cope with this, because golf is very much to do with the mind. As much as the technical side of it is great and we can do loads of the stuff on the range, which is fantastic, being able to do it on the golf course is a completely different kettle of fish. Anyway, enough talking, let's go and play some golf round the woods. Lovely morning, let's go.
Okay, the first one for me is pre-shot routine, and the pre-shot routine is something that can easily be overlooked. And for me, if you were to take anything away from this video today, I would recommend you build and create your own pre-shot routine. So what is it? It's a simple routine before you hit the golf ball that allows you to immerse and focus yourself on the shot at hand. It's great for calming you down when you might have had a few bad shots, or equally great at keeping you in the present when everything starts to go really well. Now remember, your pre-shot routine can be unique to you, but make it simple and relatively quick so not to take up too much time. Me personally, I stand behind the ball, I visualise the shot I want to hit, take 5 steps towards the ball, with each step focusing me harder into the shot that I want to play, and then I take one look at the hole and then I hit it. Now I still have a lot of work to do with this, and it's nowhere near perfect for me, and at times I still do tend to lose focus, but when it feels right, I have hit some fantastic golf shots under particular circumstances. Now, number 2 is diary. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, I do have a pink fluffy one, but that's not particularly important right now. Do you ever feel one day everything just clicks and you've figured out golf, and then a few days later you'll come back to the game and you can't find that feeling again? Well, that's because you have forgotten it. Start writing it down. I can't emphasize this enough. Write down the swing feelings, swing techniques, the way you might have chipped, the way you might have putted, the way you flushed the ball, anything positive you found in your game, write it down. Because when it starts to go bad and you speak to your old self and see what you were doing right, it's going to make a bit of a difference. I personally write 3 great shots that I have played in every round that I now play. I've been doing this for a month now, and I have 90 amazing golf shots that I've written down in my diary. Each one's very specific, and the more detail you can put into it, the better you will remind yourself of that shot and what you were particularly doing well on that day. This is great for building confidence and training your subconscious, but we will get into that a bit later. Number 3 is subconscious. Now, time and time again, people say to me, I knew I was going to do it before I hit the ball. Well, yeah, that's because you imagine yourself to do it, and guess what? Your brain then did it. I bet there's a particular hole at your golf club that you never do well at, and I bet there's a hole that you can never birdie or par. That's because over time you have trained your brain to think negatively and attach it to that particular hole. So when you stand on that tee, subconsciously you think negative thoughts, and that only implicates worse problems. Now, what if I told you you could train your brain to think positively when approaching a shot or a hole? Well, it's tough. And honestly, I'm no expert in this department, but I'm trying, and gradually I will improve. Someone explained it to me very well once. Imagine your brain as a field. Now, your conscious side of your brain can walk down a particular path, the positive or negative. The more you take either path, the more the path will be flattened and ingrained. It sounds weird to force yourself to think positive will train your subconscious to think better thoughts, but it does. And believe me, the more you see success, the confident, the more positive you will become in this kind of training your mind. Number 4 is visualization. Bob Rotella goes on to talk about it being your 15th club, and I know exactly what it means. It's probably the most important club that you would have in your bag. Now, again, this kind of ties in with the subconscious side of it, but you've got to practice it, and it does take a bit of practice. The more imaginative you are with this, the better. Now, the reason that you've got to think specific is because your brain's very good at focusing on the very minute or the very specific details of a particular shot. So rather than standing there and imagining you go hit a ball down the middle of the fairway, that doesn't necessarily cut it. I want you to stand there and stand behind the golf ball and imagine yourself hitting a particular curve on a ball, or how high the ball's going to go, where's it going to land, how far is it going to roll. When you're hitting a wedge shot, whereabouts are you going to hit it, what's the wind going to do to it, when it hits the ground, is it going to roll, is it going to stop, where's the green sloping, is it left to right or is it right to left. The more specific you can be with your visualization, the better. I practice a lot of visualization when I'm at home in bed. I spend 20 minutes before I go to sleep, and I'm imagining myself hit great golf shots. What kind of particular shots? And the more you get used to this and the more you practice this, the more it actually becomes real life. When you're under those pressure scenarios, on that first tee shot of whatever it might be, you can stand there and imagine the perfect shot that you're going to hit. Now, I'm not saying that if you visualize yourself hitting a 300-yard drive and your technique isn't quite there, that all of a sudden you'll hit a 300-yard drive. But it's definitely going to make your worst shots less worse and your better shots more consistent. Because if you imagine yourself hitting a bad shot, well, then it's only going to do the latter. Lastly is just pressure practice. How can you expect to play well under pressure if you never practice in it? Give yourself forfeits when playing if you don't shoot a particular score, or play with better players that might make you feel nervous as you can't cope with the raised heart rate or the added adrenaline. You won't be able to play to your best ability in those certain conditions unless you immerse yourself in it. For me personally, I've just jumped straight into the deep end. I'm playing as many pro events as I possibly can, and know the scores aren't anywhere near that I want them to be or reflect the kind of golfer that I am. But each event that I do play, the more and less nervous I am when I come to my next event. I'm less scared to stand on that first tee. I can get a better night's sleep the night before the tournament. And yes, the nerves are always going to be there, but now I honestly feel I'm coping with them a lot better. I've faced the fears, the worst has happened, and guess what? I'm still playing golf and I still enjoy it. Okay guys, so there you have it. That's basically the way I'm trying to personally train myself to think a lot more positive, trying to build my brain to be a lot more mentally tough, as it is probably my weakest part of my game. I feel all parts of my technique is a lot better. I've been putting a lot of practice into my game, and practice definitely helps you become more confident because you believe you've deserved it, you've earned it. You're building those certain motor programs into your golf. However, there are also shots when I'm under pressure that I've just never seen before ever, and that's just purely because I was too nervous or I've been thinking negatively. So guys, there you have it. Guys, if you like these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up, and here's an awesome outro.
Okay guys, there you have it. There's a course log. I need to go and work now. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think about the mental side of the game of golf, your successes, your or possible failures with it, and how you might have coped with it, or how you think you're going to cope with it in the future. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As always, give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.